Hello, we're going to be assembling an Abloy Protec 2 motor cylinder today. As you can see, I have the cylinder completely disassembled. Here is the sample code we're assembling to. As you can see, I've lined up all the discs and spacers in a row. And to my left, I have all of the parts. I have the drum right here. Two return bars, stopper piece, locking bar, drill protection. The springs are actually inside. They just stayed, so I left them there. And we'll be assembling. But before you assemble anything from Abloy, you need to put the code in a row. And before we start, the way you load these discs, if I can get in here, see this punching, how it's punched down and it's on the bottom here? It's raised. When you are actually loading these, it looks just like this. This is how the disc sits when you load them. It's very important because if you turn it the other way, upside down, you are loading backwards, and you could turn a 3 into a 5, a 5 into a 3, a 1 into a 2, etc. Anyways, now, as you can see, everything is in a row. There's the code again. So you start with the AWS disc. This disc is silver, is not embossed or punched, no markings. It looks like a 0, but it's the driver. Followed by the bottom profiled 0, which has a line on the top of it. You can see it right there. Inside each of these cylinders, there are 11 discs and 10 spacers. The spacers are silver and bronze. There are 6 bronze and 4 silver in each cylinder. The silver go after the zeros. So as you can see here, here is the driver, 0, silver spacer, 6, silver spacer, 1, bronze spacer, 4, bronze, 2, bronze, 3, bronze, 1, bronze, middle 0, silver, 5, silver, 2, bronze, 3. So that is the stack. And that's what you need to put into the drum. Pass this phone off. So to load an Abloy cylinder, you put the return bars in the slots. I'll show you in a second because I'm right-handed. You can't really see. So return bars go in these little slots right here. That's where the return bars go. And at the bottom, you put the drill protection. Like so. And it has to sit east to west. Meaning there's a little box on the drill protection. And that sits east to west because that is what the bottom of goes into. Right there. So we'll start loading. Oop. These bars moved while I was talking. Push the drill protection back. So the neat trick about this, you could use oil on the return bars, or you could use this little guy right here. This is a spring loader. This right here helps the bars stay in place, which I was fiddling with, and lets you load like a Pez or gun. So, one last adjustment to the drill protection at the bottom. And the fun part is this is magnetized, so it's moving. So you start with the driver. Bottom 0. Silver spacer. So the neat part about doing the stack this way is you don't have to fuss with anything. You're just loading the thing you already put in a row. And as you're loading, just keep an eye on the return bars to make sure they stay in their slots, because sometimes they can have a tendency to creep if you're not doing it the right way or if you're just not paying attention. Usually around the 0, you could pull this out right there and just finish loading by hand, because once you're at the 0 position, you're pretty much close enough to the top to finish loading. Oops. It is hard to do this when you're trying to stay out of the way of the camera. There. Now that is loaded, as you can see, it is flush with the top. The reason why we have silver and bronze spaces is because if it's too high, you have to take out a silver, put a bronze. If it's too low, or vice versa, if it's too low, you take out a silver, put a bronze. If it's too high, you take out a bronze and put a silver spacer. Anyways, I'll just double check my drill protection, which moved a little bit. Putting it back to east to west. Now, take my disc controller, slowly work it down. There. Now it's together. From here, you put the stopper piece in, like so. Goes like this. Just like that. You hold it here at the bottom of the cylinder. You put the front plate on. Goes like this. This goes in here. You use your finger to push this down. And from there, the only thing that's left to do, put a spacer and put the retaining clip in. And once that's in, you're good to go. Anyways, we're about to run out of time on this. The only last thing to do is to snap it in like so. Takes usually a second. Around the other side. And you are done.